Hey, what's up everyone? It's Pixelated Quest here. Today we need to talk about something that's been making waves in the gaming community, MonsterHunterWilds. Yes, the game that's supposed to be the next big hit in the Monster Hunter series. But there's a catch. Is the game truly a masterpiece or is it a buggy, money-grabbing mess? Stick around because we're diving deep into the controversy surrounding its release. Now, before we go any further, let me just say, MonsterHunterWilds had one of the biggest launches we've seen in recent months. Over 1.3 million players flooded the servers on release day, and the hype was real. But as the dust settles, we're starting to see some very questionable issues emerge, and I'm not just talking about the usual bugs here. No, this goes way deeper than that. From performance issues to pay-to-win mechanics, it's all part of the storm surrounding Wilds. But is it really that bad, or are people just overreacting? Let's try to break this down. But before we do that, please hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to like this video or leave a comment. First up, let's talk about the performance problems. Because let's face it, Monster Hunter Wilds was meant to be an immersive, breathtaking experience. The idea was that you would be hunting huge monsters in stunning environments with a seamless experience. But instead, it feels like you're trying to play a high-end game on a toaster. Players are reporting insane graphical glitches, constant crashes and frame rate that drop faster than my bank account after a Steam sale starts. And we're talking about the PC version here, where one would expect elite performance, right? I mean, how did Capcom let this happen? Is this a case of rush development or were these issues completely ignored? Because right now the game has a mixed rating on Steam, and that's not something to overlook. Can we talk about the fact that my air fryer is more optimized than this game? That's right, I'm roasting Monster Hunter Wilds in the same breath as my kitchen appliance. I didn't even have to do any system tweaks to make my air fryer run smoothly. Meanwhile, Wilds makes you feel like you need a PhD in computer science just to get it to run without crashing. I want to see Queen Ponzalot do a blindfolded system setup for this game. Capcom, come on, this is what happens when you push out a game that wasn't ready. But that's not even the worst part. Next, let's talk about a controversial issue that's honestly hard to ignore. The monetization. Yes, Capcom has decided to implement character customization costs after you already created your character. For those who aren't familiar, the game gives you these super detailed character designs, but guess what? If you want to change your character's looks or alter your palico after you started playing, you have to pay. This is straight up pay to win but for cosmetics. And don't get me wrong, customization is key to personalizing your experience, but locking that behind a paywall feels more than a little shady. If you want your character to look unique, you're going to have to dig deeper in your pockets. And the worst part, there's no way around it. You cannot earn these customization options through gameplay, which means you're just being encouraged to open your wallet. I'm sure you can already feel where this is going. This is not the Monster Hunter experience fans wanted. It feels like Capcom is more focused on nickel and diming players than giving them a proper gaming experience. And here's the kicker, the monetization system isn't just an isolated problem. It's a symptom of a larger issue with Wilds, the trend of pushing microtransactions into the game instead of focusing on quality. This isn't about making the game better, it's about making more money. And that's going to turn a lot of loyal players off. We have seen other games go down this path, and they have been criticized heavily. Monster Hunter Wilds is walking a fine line, and if Capcom isn't careful, they could alienate a large portion of their fanbase. Now, the community reactions to Monster Hunter Wilds have been pretty split. On one hand, you got fans who are loving the new mechanics and the sheer amount of content the game offers. After all, it's still Monster Hunter, and the core gameplay is solid. But then you got a large portion of the fanbase who feel utterly betrayed by these issues. Players are taking to social media, forums and YouTube to express their frustration with the game's performance and monetization system. And rightfully so, I might add. When you're dropping over $60, $90 or even $110, depending on the edition, on a game, you expect it to be polished and fair. But when you start charging for basic custom optimizations, it feels like a blatant cash grab. I mean, some of these fans have been following this franchise for years. They deserve better. And here's where it gets even more frustrating. MonsterHunterWilds isn't the first game to do this, of course. We've seen similar tactics in other big-name franchises, and the result is usually the same. Fans get angry and the game loses its credibility. It's like companies are too focused on making money quickly rather than fostering a long-term relationship with their fanbase. The truth is that people want to support their favorite franchises. They want to see these games succeed. But when a company starts treating its customers like walking wallets, that relationship gets broken. And once that trust is gone, it's hard to get it back. And if the performance and play-to-win problems weren't enough, there's always the weapon mechanics. Now, you know how Monster Hunter games are all about fine-tuning your gear, right? Well, Wilds has introduced this new wounding mechanic. Some players are loving it, but others, they're not so sure. It's essentially the new version of Clutch Claw from World, and let's just say a lot of people didn't like Clutch Claw. Wilds tries to evolve the system, but the change is divisive. Some fans think it's fresh, others say it messes with the flow of combat. And once again, this feels like a decision made to shake things up, without fully thinking about how it would impact the players. It's like Capcom is experimenting with core gameplay elements that players have loved for years, and that's not something you want to mess with lightly. Honestly, with all these bugs, monetization tactics, and divisive mechanics, I'm starting to wonder if MonsterHunterWilds is even worth it. Yes, the game has a great core, but what good is a game if it's riddled with issues right off the gate? We've seen games with great ideas before, but only to be ruined by poor execution. And it feels like to me, Wilds is heading down the same path. Capcom might need to do some serious damage control if they want to save this game from sinking. If they don't fix these problems quickly, they might lose the goodwill of their community forever. So, what do you think? Is Monster Hunter Wilds going to rise above its problems, or is it going to become a cautionary tale for developers who rush out unfinished games? Let me know in the comments below. And hey, if you like this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like this video for more gaming breakdowns and reviews. Now for some reviews. My grandma runs better than this game. The real monster is Capcom, because a $70 price tag is wild. I paid $70 to boot a crash report. This game is a solid 10 frames per second on a Steam Deck, damn. If you close your eyes, it looks nice. Steam Deck terrified. Congratulations to the winners of this giveaway, listed here. Send me an email to claim your Steam key. If you also want to participate in the next giveaway, which will be in the next video I release, simply subscribe to my channel. I will be picking 5 random subscribers with each video releasing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.